Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining. Today, we're going to be looking at an introduction to intelligent document processing, otherwise known as IDP, for the Mulesoft platform. What we're going to be doing is going over a brief overview of the IDP tool itself, and then Brett is going to be showing us the IDP tool in action as it relates to the healthcare space. So before we begin, just a brief round of introductions. My name is John Bowerly. I've been working in the healthcare space for about 7 years now, and I've been working alongside automation and integration vendors for getting close to about 9 years now. Brett?
Hi, I'm Brett Greathouse. I'm the president of Touchpoint Solutions. I'm really happy to be here. We are a Salesforce and Mulesoft integration partner, and we've been in the healthcare space for about 15 years.
So before we begin and before we see our demo, we're going to just cover a quick overview of what Mulesoft IDP is. So IDP is our new AI-powered tool, a part of our automation solution. It's a prompt-based tool, so think similar to ChatGPT, that lets business users easily pull data from documents like PDFs or images, all with clicks and without writing any code. It automates the entire business process from reading the documents to sending the data where it needs to go by converting the extracted information into a usable API, so we can point the extracted information into any downstream system of record. So how can we use this? We're seeing our healthcare customers really use this anywhere where they have any type of paperwork in the organization, from HR, finance, patient intake. We're seeing this used for any e-faxes or Excel sheets, any unstructured documents. It can even recognize handwritten notes. So if we have any provider notes or provider handwritten notes from the patient visit, we can bring that in as well. Any medical claims or PO orders for finance. And then the example that we're going to see here in just a moment from Brett is going to be the patient intake. So your business might get anywhere from 50 to 100 patient referrals per day. That typically what we see is each patient referral takes about anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes if done without any errors. The IDP solution is going to allow you to process your entire day's worth of referrals in just seconds. So now I'm going to pass over to Brett, and we're going to look at the IDP tool in action.
All right, thank you. So for this use case, like John said, we'll be walking through patient intake. And so the patient will have completed a paper form that includes personal information, demographics, insurance information, pharmacy information, and then they'd hand that over to the front desk person. And from that point on, the process is generally the document's scanned in, and then it's saved to a network drive, and then there's an intake team for the larger groups that all they do is input data throughout the day. And so they just monitor the network drive, they enter what's there into the EMR, and then they'll shred the document, the original document. So what we're going to show today is how IDP can automate this. And I'll first show IDP generally, and then I'm going to show IDP with what we call our intake Quickstart on top of it that will automate everything from once the file is added to a network drive, it's going to end up in the EMR, and I'll show you that. So let me share my screen, and I'll walk a little bit through Mulesoft generally. Let me start with the intake page or the intake form. So this is just a standard patient intake. Think of a new patient coming in. They're given a packet of pages to fill out. They complete this, and they hand it back to the person at the front desk. From that point, there's usually a couple of processes that are followed. Either if it's a smaller group, they might key it in themselves into the EMR. Generally, they scan the document, they key it in, they attach the document into the EMR, and then they will shred the original. And that's just to keep with HIPAA compliance. Or if it's for a larger group, they might just scan these, they put it on a network drive, and there's somebody on the other side who pulls that off, types it into the EMR, and then the front desk person will shred the document. So let me show you how Mulesoft can help with this. So we've got the document, and I've saved this into a network drive, and I'm going to go into Mulesoft now and pull that in and show you how it would work manually. So if I go into the new patients, I've got the file that we're just looking at here. If I can enlarge that. All right. So we've got the same form here. And then on the right, you'll see we've got a number of questions that we've asked. So we want to pull date of birth, social security, the person's name, and other relevant information from here. So standard IDP allows you to pull this in and then run through all of the questions. It will bring the results back and allow them to be copied and pasted into any EMR. So that's like the first step of this. So wait for those to come and look at the answers that they got. All right. So if we go to the top, now we find the date of birth, we find the social security number, we go down, we can find, pharmacy information, we can find ethnicity. All of this information is being brought in here directly. And that's because IDP has artificial intelligence behind it. They can go and recognize when you ask, what's the email, it will go and find this. You can see that's not great handwriting, but it's able to pull it back in and it works just fine. All right, so that's core Mulesoft IDP. Now I want to also show you a quick start on top of that automatically pulls the data into IDP, reads it, and then sends it off to an EMR. And I'm going to be using Salesforce as the EMR in this example, just so we have a third party to show up. But the way this works is when the file is saved, we've got a listener that's pulling that into IDP. So I'm going to go and show you into Salesforce actually. Whoops, save on here. And we should see, yep, Bill Grayson is here waiting for us. And so this is a little anticlimactic because it just happened so quickly. But if I click on Bill, you'll see that all of that information that was entered was brought in automatically. Let me refresh this. All right. So we've got his name. We've got that it comes from IDP, the social security number, ethnicity. All that information is brought in here automatically. You can see that the file is also brought in. And so right now this works, we're set up right here to be within Salesforce, but it could go into any EMR. So we've worked with Epic, we've worked with on the dental side, Dentrix. There's really no open application, modern application, I should say, that we can't integrate with. So you can see how much time that would have saved from the moment that I uploaded it to the network file. It was just, maybe in a minute. It was the time that we were reviewing IDP. It was already entered in here into the third party and all the fields available. So with that, John, I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. I think it's important also to call out that the workflow that Brett actually just showed is basically like a one-time configuration, and then it runs automatically. You're not having to go through and pull out the information and hit run against every single patient. You can upload a stack of forms, multiple hundreds of pages, and the IDP tool will do its thing. It will run up the prompts, and it will pull the information and then publish those new patients into the Salesforce system. So once this is set up, this is pretty much on autopilot for all of your inbound paperwork. So, and again, you can have different workflows set up for patient intake, for patient referrals, any type of, again, like if you have just an email inbox for driver's license or insurance cards to be scanned in, you can set that up as well. All of that information coming in and then being orchestrated exactly how it needs to be sent out to any receiving system. So with that, Brett, I appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing this, and we look forward to speaking with you if you're interested.